Yeah. Oh, you got the Phil Steele.
The Bible
There it
is
is.
out, baby. The Bible
The
is out.
Bible of college football is out.
Mm.
All praises due to the God Phil
If,
Steele.
if you want to know what your third string guard's 40 time was his senior year in high school, this is it right here. This
And
is it.
some people do want to know.
I want to
Nobody
know.
goes. No
We
people.
want to know.
We want to know. Nobody goes harder than Phil Steele in the paint.
That's my dude.
Year after year, that he is the king.
That is my dude. Seriously, it is. He has the most insane details about every
And
team.
that's just going to even become more enjoyable, whatever form and fashion NCAA football, the video game, comes back in. But
I think I saw 2023 was the year they had it.
Yeah, I feel like there's
for.
definitely going to be a turnaround, especially with the litigation, what have you, and probably that all plays out. Teams are going to have to individually agree to be part of it, whatever goes on. But just happy to have it back.
Definitely.
Anyway, I digress. On a light Wednesday, King Sports. Tyler, how are you doing on this Wednesday?
Not doing too bad, man. Hey, we're on the downside, heading towards the holiday weekend, so that's got to be a good thing. Feeling, I'm sure we'll get into it pretty quickly here, but even though it's only been a day, I felt the serious withdrawal of Euro games, in the morning today.
It was,
I don't know about you, Rod. How you doing? Are you feeling the same?
Yes, absolutely. First of all, yes, I am. The thing is, and it was kind of like a cruel joke because as far as my life goes, major upgrade. Getting to work from home, you get to watch stuff during the day. Most of the time, it's not really that much on during the day. In the summertime, even maybe the East Coast games in baseball start at 4. Unless you get occasional day games.
Yeah, maybe on a Wednesday or Thursday, you might get some early games if there's travel days for teams going from the East Coast.
Just so happened to start in the year after what was supposed to be the year of the Euros, and it's been mind-blowingly great, pretty much all the way through, group stage, round of 16. But then when you don't have it for, even just a day, you're just like, why? I put on Wimbledon. I was like, kind of care. I don't really care that much though. It's too early.
Still too early to care about Wimbledon. Yeah.
It's too early, but also fix the grass. I don't know what's going on there, but 1 or 2 is kind of a maybe misfortune. But I've seen a lot of people.
But 9.
But 9. Well, I'd like to see that. I know they already had to come out and say there's nothing wrong with the grass. It rained a little bit, but it's fine. It's just as good as it's always been. I don't know. I see a lot of people slipping around out there.
Yeah.
But hopefully people don't get seriously hurt. But no, losing the Euros, even for a day or 2, has been devastating personally because it's just been so good. So, today I was kind of fiending for it. But then I was like, maybe I just need a day because it's been so I need to take a breath, just kind of reflect on what all has happened here. As far as we know, football's still coming home. Just
TBD.
At this moment, it's coming home.
That could, with England, that could literally change any game.
Yeah, no, exactly. The coin can easily flip. But after that, I was just like, man, why can't they just play it? All right, the teams that played early in the 16, just play right now. God. But that's, me being greedy. Euros have been great. We will touch on that shortly. I do want to get to the comments here a little bit. Shout out to Jaime. Love you too, brother.
Yes.
And Nick, of course, Second Mosquitoes, who we are efforting to get the CEO back on for the San Diego Loyal Report. Second place, sole possession of second place, San Diego Loyal, by the way.
Yeah.
And yes, we will definitely talk about this. I don't know. LeBron has been kind of weirdly outspoken about it. I don't know if his angle is necessarily true or if it's sour grapes because he got knocked out. He definitely was hurt for a lot of the season and was one of the people, even before the playoff thing, just should start a little bit later, whatever. But a lot of, swath of just bad injuries in the NBA, which we will touch on. and punchable face leaving Real Madrid. Sergio and Messi is a free agent. I still think he's going to re-up with Barcelona, though. I think
Supposedly, that's the word. It was like, yeah, it's just like any day now they will have a new contract for him.
every time it's gotten to like, it's past the point of no return, look who's still there, Messi. Team presidents come and gone, but Messi remains.
For 4 years, 624 mil or whatever whatever his last contract was. Yeah, I'd kind of want to stay there too.
Yeah, I'd ride that out. And let's see, a couple more here. LeBron is baby powder soft. Well, I'm not really inclined to disagree with that. I think his take on it, there is a little bit to be said, but also like, you guys did get paid a lot. Like, I know Shaq came out and said, like, you know what, I would just play. We're getting paid a lot of money. I mean, like, if I'm getting paid that much money to do my job sitting at a laptop all day, it's not exactly the same as like running up and down the court, blowing your knee out at a moment's notice. I get that part of it too, but yeah, I'm inclined to agree that he's kind of taking a soft stance on this. Labrador.
That is pretty good.
LeBronrador. Actually, first of all, since we don't have the CEO yet on deck, one thing that Tyler did bring up was our MLB predictions earlier in the season. Justin, you know, I don't know if you're able to hop on, but obviously you can comment. So, been a weird year for baseball, especially in our favorite division. Yeah. But let's take a look at the AL East, which wow, Red Sox. Literally, none of us saw that coming. In fact, myself and Tyler have them next to last place.
Yeah. Hey, Red Sox are they've been impressive. I mean, everybody's hitting well. Their pitching's been pretty solid. Like, it's just, they've been all around good performances. I can't really knock anything they've been doing.
That's what we call the Verdugo effect.
That's true. And Kike. They got Doogie and Kike on there.
True.
That's two party starters right there that the Dodgers are
exactly, missing. Yeah. Just guys that get the boys fired up.
You know, one thing that we definitely did all nail was, of course, Baltimore last place.
Oh, man. And they are so far in last place. It is. I mean, even especially with the Red Sox being as good as nobody thought they were, at least on this program, it hurts them even more. But we knew they were going to be bad, but there is Baltimore. Yikes.
Another surprise, though, is, look, all three of us had the Yankees winning the division, and they are, if they're not playing the Angels or Baltimore, they look pretty bad. I mean, they're the first team to really light up Shohei this year.
Yeah, CEO, come on and speak on your Yankees, bro.
But
that's been awkward.
Outside of knocking around Baltimore and knocking around the Angels the last few days, they've just, I don't know, not been great. Can't really figure it out. Garrett Cole is in a massive downfall, not only on the mound but on the microphone as well. So well, tough times in the Bronx.
We did have a chance to ask him if he had any explanation for why the Yankees are so bad.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest.
There you have it. Truer words have never been spoken. But hopefully they sort it out. You know, Yankees, long-suffering Yankees. I'd like to see those that scuffling team finally figure it out.
Yeah. Then then down there in the NL, you can see all of us again. All have the Braves. Braves currently in fourth place. The NL East is just it's really bad, and the Mets just happen to be heads and shoulders the best of all the bad teams.
The least of the really bad teams in that division. At least, again, we nailed the Marlins. All right.
We got the Marlins. I think you got the Nats. Justin got the Phillies. Me just currently right now just rocking the Marlins. I don't know how the Mets are above 500 because I swear every time I look at their score, they lose 9-1.
Yeah, I know. And myself and CEO Nick got to see that team in person, and it was just like, really? Them? They're in first. Wait, double check that. No, they are. Wow. No, I'm hearing now that they are, in fact, in first place. Wow, okay.
And you know what? I don't want to jump away from our standings predictions results too long, but since we just are on the subject of the Mets, let's just say tomorrow, national holiday, baby.
Oh,
Bobby Bonilla Day.
cherish it. Cherish it. Drink it in. A tradition unlike any other. Look, I mean, I feel like at this point, even the initiated Mets fan kind of has to look forward to it with, like, some kind of tongue-in-cheek, just like, we really blew that one. But, I mean, it's the life of a Mets fan. Because this is just going on so long and will continue to go on for so much longer.
Till 2035.
That this is one of the great traditions of baseball. Bobby Bonilla Day coming up tomorrow. Shout out to him. One of the greatest moves in any kind of contract negotiation of all time that I can really think of.
Oh, I imagine, because let's see, I'll assume he's living on the East Coast. I could be wrong there, but he's probably sitting there like an hour from now. He's going to look at his bank statement, just see that pending transaction, just plop through, and it's going to be just, man. Nobody has a better start to July than Bobby Bonilla.
That is a proven fact. In fact, if you're getting $1.1, almost $1.2 million every July 1st, probably could just live wherever you want. I mean, you could be living in like the Maldives or something. I don't know. But all right, just wire me the money. Like, I'll stay up. I'll check it. Like, maybe it's 6 a.m. there. Boom, just hit my account. Online bank. Sweet.
Yeah, that's, again, shout out to him. Like, we were kind of talking before the show. Like, I can only imagine, like, what if Steve Cohen just, like, wasn't aware of this? And so he's, like, looking over the books after he buys the Mets, and he's like, hey, what is this? Why do I see a repeating payment every year on July 1st for $1.2 million? What's up with this?
My books are just coming off a little short. I don't know. What is this? Explain this to me. Yeah, here's the thing, boss. So you might want to be sitting down. But this is going to go on for a long time. So we just got to eat that one. It happened. And again, as Justin points out, special shout out Bernie Madoff.
Bernie Madoff.
The most Mets thing ever is getting roped into part of the Bernie Madoff. It wasn't even like the whole like fallout of the Ponzi scheme, but I mean, it was part of it. God, the Mets would definitely be a part of that. If any team would be, it would be the Mets.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But yeah, so just did want to give a special shout out to Bobby Bonilla Day tomorrow. Back to the
loving the money
here.
bag emojis also on that.
But let's look at the Central here. I think none of us are doing particularly well in the AL Central as well.
I mean, Justin's doing okay. Detroit up in third. Look at Detroit.
Yeah. Motor City Kitties have a day.
And Tyler, our Twins, not so great.
Yeah, not so great. Not good. I kind of figured they'd keep up the trend of smashing it, but that's just not happening. Like, I remember this was when we're like, I debated so hard about Twins or White Sox to win it, and now I'm like, yeah, I definitely should have gone for it. Granted, I thought the White Sox were going to fall apart with La Russa. That hasn't been as much of a thing as I thought it would be.
For brief moments, it has been a little bit of a thing, but they've just powered through because they're that good. I just thought before the La Russa thing, like, they're really good, but maybe just not ready to take that step of just like running away with the division. And then La Russa comes in. I'm like, oh, this is going to be like a shitstorm. But no, credit to them. They have just kept it rolling.
Yeah, the talent just keeps going. Justin's apparently our NL Central expert, though. I mean, he's got 3 of the 5 positions right there. Obviously, got the Brewers in first. They're looking pretty nice. The Reds chilling in third. They hit the hell out of the ball, but still can't pitch. And the Pirates in last, which I think anybody could have easily predicted. But I don't think any of us saw obviously none of us saw the Cardinals' wheels just falling off after acquiring Goldschmidt last year and then Arenado this year.
Yeah, And, I'm not going to say I'm disappointed about that because I do hate the
No.
Cardinals. And I feel like your pick and mine were both kind of based on but they always just find a way. And now they're sitting in fourth place. So fuck them. Sorry, Cease.
Yeah, perfectly okay with that. Although it actually looks like all of us kind of nailed the Reds where they are.
Weirdly, yes. Like everyone, all right, we know the Pirates are going to suck. But for some reason, we all had the Reds in third. So, hey, shout out to the Reds.
Hey, look, we all knew they were going to hit the ball a ton. They're going to hit it hard, and they have definitely a hitter's ballpark. But that pitching ain't going to help them at all.
Joke of a stadium. But we will see what happens. I honestly, until I saw this live update that Tyler presented, I thought the Cubs could have been in first place. But apparently the Brewers are a few games out in front. So get some Brewers.
Yeah, and they were beating the shit out of the Cubs today when I saw it. They scored 14 runs in 4 innings. So,
well, prove me wrong, Brewers. Prove me wrong. I'd rather you than anyone else.
Now we head out to the West. Justin's pick of the Angels in first place, just not quite there.
Not just didn't quite.
Didn't quite.
Trout not coming back until after the All-Star break. Now that
At
hurts.
the earliest, if he comes back.
And the pitching still is really bad, except for Ohtani, but he got shelled today.
Like it's really bad with it's strange because they still don't fully know what his injury is and how long it's going to be out, and he's been out for 2 months.
Yeah.
How can you not have a grasp on what the injury is and what the timetable is at this point in time?
Just another in a long line of examples that points to Trout. You got to get off that team. You just have to leave that team. There's no way. I mean, Ohtani has turned out to be, this year at least, all
amazing.
That was promised.
And more,
for sure. The home run that he did hit the other day in Yankee Stadium was great. But, the pitching today, not so great. But a weird outing also. Tyler and I were looking at the line score on that. And I don't know if it's been resumed because it's getting pretty late on the East Coast. But gave up 7 runs in the first inning, only 2 hits. Odd.
2 hits, 4 walks, no errors.
And no errors, yes.
And 7 runs. That is just one of the weirdest kind of lines you're going to see.
And that, if you're pitching, if you come across and run into, cause somehow one of these lines, you could just chalk that up to all right, it's not my day. Yankees, even though they are slumping hard, any team could get after you and just blow you up, and it's not going right. Then they have a delay. Another delay, all right, he's not going back in the game. But I did see that raised his ERA an entire run.
Yes, yeah. Well, that also tells you how low his ERA was previously. But yeah, that's definitely not a good outing for him. But other than that, I think I know right now I have the top 2 right. You've got them flipped, but honestly, those could kind of change any day with how those teams play. So still excited. It definitely a 2-team race in the West, but still an exciting one. NL West, we every single one of us got a 0 in the NL West right now.
Hey, in our defense, not even just as Dodger fans, all the insiders, only Ken Gurnick, all these, nobody had the Giants. Come on, even the Giants didn't have the Giants in first place.
Yeah, definitely nobody saw that coming. Dodgers got the nice 2-game sweep of them these last couple days, so maybe those wins will start to change. We'll see. But honestly, the biggest surprise in the West to me, Rockies not in last.
Yeah, they were literally just selling their entire team for scraps. Just screw it. But man, the Diamondbacks are real bad.
It's not so much that the Rockies are doing better than expected. It's just the Diamondbacks are that bad.
They are really that bad. And, because of this kind of 3-team, I think the Dodgers are, a game and a half back right now. They're not playing tonight.
Yeah.
Padres been pretty good, streaky, but still they're maybe like 4 or 5 games back from the Giants. So it's looking like it's going to be those 3 teams all the way. But as I do go on there and just like check the standings a couple, every other day, they usually on Google, at least, it will give you the last 10. And so many times I've seen last 10 Diamondbacks 0-10. God, I mean, wow. And their road record is, it is something. Look it up.
Yeah, it's it's kind of unbelievable. It's like, just to think, like 4 years ago, the Diamondbacks were, sorry Padres fans, but I'll say this. 4 years ago, the Diamondbacks were the Padres. Like, this is the team that's going to take the Dodgers out. They're going to take them out of the division. They're going to be the next big thing in the division.
The threat, yeah.
And then the Dodgers swept them in the playoffs, and they've just been in a free fall ever since.
Just destroyed them. But couldn't happen to a better guy than Bumgarner, so I'm glad he's there to be part of this.
Yeah, real shame there.
That's a shame. But, I mean, we all had Rockies last, and they still, I don't know, it's getting further and further away. They're not great, but
they'll probably sell Story before the trade deadline. They might sell like McMahon or Blackman, like one of their other good players, just because they're the Rockies. So
Rockies,
who knows?
Do what you have to do to get in last place, please. Just to help us out.
Just a quick tally figure there. None of us doing particularly well. There you see just myself tied with 9 correct placements. Ronnie right behind us with 8.
It's been a weird year.
Yeah, you definitely say that.
Especially, again, the Giants. Really? The Giants. And the Mets? Bro, the Mets? Come on. God.
I know we were saying
it's not guaranteed.
Big facts.
I know you and I were saying it the other day, and it's like I still believe it, that it's like the Giants are going to fall apart and fall off at some point. But it's like every time I say that, they just like keep winning. So I'm like, well, can I really keep saying that? Like, as much as I believe it, at some point in time, I can't say it anymore.
I like Justin's theory. Just putting him out on display in the home run derby.
True.
Hey, we got a guy that can hit all these home runs in a batting practice at Coors Field. So
that's true. Yes.
Is that really going to increase his value? But I don't know.
The most difficult of batting situations, taking meatballs at Coors Field.
And yes, also agree with that. Losing streak on the road for the D-backs is right up there with the UConn women's team at home.
That's fair.
You always know, like just
Gino REM is not going to like that.
Even though it's not guaranteed, as we said. I mean, it's kind of guaranteed. It's kind of guaranteed in that case.
It is guaranteed for entertainment purposes only, of course. Please believe that.
Well, obviously, yes. As I go back to our old header, Quarantine Kings, RIP. But I did want to take a look at also actually, let's just hit the Stanley Cup real quick. Last I saw,
it has gone final 3-1.
Tampa Bay. All right, so they go up 2-0.
Tampa scored right when we started the broadcast, so they won 3-1 today.
Ride the lightning. Shout out to Joe Martini. Have a night, son.
That's true. Yeah, so they take the strong 2-0 lead. They'll be going to Montreal, so we'll see how having to stay in a hotel affects Tampa, since I believe they'll still have those rules where they're not allowed to leave. So
once they get in that bubble, everything changes.
That's true.
Get a bunch of angry French Canadians yelling at you.
We'll see. Like at this point in time, I just want it to be a good series. I hope Montreal wins a couple games, just at least to make it a good series.
It's always better when it comes down at least to like a 6 or 7 game series in the final, especially. I know there's a couple injuries for both teams going on, but I mean, at this point, just like the NBA, a lot of people are hurt, which we'll get into that. Especially in hockey, though, everyone is carrying some kind of injury.
Everyone's always hurt.
So it's, are you hurt? Are you injured? Kind of thing.
Yeah. And just for reference here.
Oh,
Justin.
The answer is yes, you son of a bitch.
You're right. You're right. Shout out to Nate. Always dropping knowledge.
That's right.
Before we do get into the Euros, and maybe at some point, soccer historian, if you're out there, hit us up. And also, Loyal Report, CEO. I don't know where you're at, but if not, I'll do it by myself. I'll do it live.
Do it live.
Let's hit the NBA. I know the Clippers are going right now against the Suns, and the Suns are up by 12 going into the end of the third quarter. So, looking pretty good for the Suns. Clippers just way undermanned right now. As Justin pointed out.
Boogie looking bemused and yelling at a ref. So, nothing new there. Nothing new. Just standard protocol.
I still like Boogie, but
look, he's a king. I'm always gonna love him.
It's not Boogie's fault. It's not Boogie's fault.
It's not his fault.
It's all of us. It's all of us. But yeah, no Zubac. Apparently, what very much seems like no Kawhi for the rest of it. Pandemic P cannot duplicate these performances again and again, like in the last game. I don't see it. Maybe he can, but
we were on air for the last game, so we didn't get to. I had my TV on, but obviously I'm kind of focusing on this and that. Like I saw he shot something like 85% the last game. Like, yeah, there's no way he's going to continue to be able to do that. And he only took 8 shots in the first half of this game. So yeah, definitely looking more like a pandemic P than a playoff than a yeah.
Oh, and I have not actually seen any of the game because during the setup. But yeah, if the Suns come out hot like that, that's kind of like you always are going to get one of those games, like in every 2 or 3 games, like at least with them. So like if they cook you and you don't have a lot of your more important guys, especially I think Zubac, like he was helping as much as anyone on that team could as far as the Ayton factor. And now that he's gone, it's like, what do? Just go small and let Pandemic P just try to tear him up? At a certain point, it's not really sustainable to do that. But Ayton looks like a beast.
Well, he is a beast, but yes, you're right. When the other team has to go small, it just
why do you think Arizona gave him all that money? Obviously. They knew what they were doing. The Valley of the Sun.
And you brought up a point that I think has kind of become the big talking point of the playoffs, and especially in reference to last night's game. Just all the injuries we saw. Giannis went down. Supposedly no structural damage, so maybe he's not out. Well, that remains to be seen. Capella may or may not. Who knows what's going on with Capella? He took a beating. So
shout out to his orbital bone. Hopefully it's okay. Yeah, I mean the Giannis thing. It looked very bad when it happened.
Yeah, it did.
But I know, at this point there's been MRIs, whatever kind of evaluation. So apparently no actual ligament, bone, whatever damage. But he's certainly not going to be full 100%, when they play the next game, even if he's technically okay as far as no tears or breaks or anything like that. So we saw the game before, Trae Young weirdly steps on the ref's foot, kind of affected them. I mean, Middleton just went off, so couldn't really do anything about that anyway. But Trae Young, after he came back, was kind of just out there as a decoy almost. Definitely not the Trae Young that we've seen so far in these playoffs. And who knows what kind of Giannis we're going to see coming back from that, because it looked bad. I'm neutral on this whole thing anyway. The Lakers are out, so I'm kind of excited to see this. Well, I'm neutral to the point of I just don't want the Clippers to win. But beyond that, all right. So I'll just
you're okay with 75% of the possible outcomes.
But yeah, let's get some new blood in there. Sorry for the ratings, NBA.
Definitely.
But it would be nice to see one of these teams win, besides Clippers, which seems like probably not going to happen at this point. Thank you, Suns. But yeah. When I saw the replay of it, I wasn't watching it live, but it looked bad. And then I think even Capella tweeted or something on his Instagram. He was like, dude, that's messed up. Even, we're playing against you. I don't want you to go out like that. I'm wishing for the best. And Capella also just like straight elbow to the eye socket. Like that looked gnarly as well. So it's getting to that. It's almost like a hockey type situation. Like everyone's hurt in some kind of capacity. It's like who can stick it out the longest.
Yeah, you were telling me that like on his tweet, like a lot of like Bucks fans were responding like, "Dude, are you okay? Like, how are you doing?"
Yeah, I mean, the very gracious, typically Milwaukee fan was like, that was respect for showing some concern and care or whatever, because it was kind of like a run-in play and just something that could happen on any play in the NBA. These guys are that big and that fast, but they were also like, I don't know, dude, are you fine? Because you just got cracked straight in the face.
But yeah, it's been like it's definitely been a I don't really know what the right word is other than just weird playoff with just so many injuries and like
Dropping left and right.
the thing that I hate most about it is that some new team is going to win their first title, and then people just always be like, "Oh yeah, but they only won because." Even though I will say this, every team has had a massive injury. Like everybody has.
Yeah.
So you could say, yeah, they didn't play. The Lakers didn't have a healthy LeBron or AD. Yeah, but this team also probably lost like two guys during the playoffs as well. So it's just a weird playoffs. But I mean, ultimately, look, the players on whichever team wins are going to say, miss me with that shit. I don't give a fuck. I want a title. So good for them.
And it won't have the specter or whatever of the bubble thing. I mean, they are playing road games in front of full arenas, so at least there's that. Like, I would just say, won it fair and square. Like, everyone gets hurt. I could have got hurt.
Not their
Whatever.
fault.
We won.
They beat like do you think Duke is going to like say like, oh yeah, yeah, we only beat Butler for a championship? Like, no, Duke doesn't give a shit. Nor should they. They beat whoever's in front of them.
About the dub. And yes, Justin points out every team has had a massive injury. Ridiculously stupid that two teams had 71 days off while half the league had 4 months off. Something to be said for that as well.
Sure.
And it definitely affected both as far as the Heat and the Lakers. But as we've gotten like into the actual playoffs here and they played as many games as they could, back to your first point, every team has had some kind of massive injury. Like, look at Chris Paul, probably going to get in his first finals now. If these trends hold, I haven't looked at the score in a second. I think they just barely started the fourth quarter.
Yeah, there's not an update. They're just coming up right now.
He got hurt in like the first game of the entire playoffs or whatever it was. So everyone's dealing with it. I think it's a deserving champion, whoever comes through this.
Yeah, for sure. I won't argue that as a fair point, Justin. But I will also say this: your Lakers signed everybody under the sun to like make up for it. They signed all these guys that maybe just didn't pan out, whatever. But they signed a ton of guys to kind of help give LeBron an 80 time. So
it's not Drummond's fault. It's not Drummond's fault.
It's not Drummond's fault.
I mean, he kind of sucked though, so it's kind of his fault. But
still, I wouldn't say it's his. Like, look.
No,
when you've got Drummond on the court, you expect one thing from him: just get us rebounds. That's all we care about. I say
that in jest. Yeah, I did not expect a ton from him. Like, if we were counting on Drummond to be the difference, we're already
you've already lost. Yeah.
But as I see, CEO Nick is not going to join us, apparently, and I don't see him in the comments. I just have to give a quick SD Loyal update. Boom!
There you go.
Another win. Another win. Sole possession after last night against the Oakland Roots, who I did bet on because they were plus 550 or something. No, they were plus 280 as I was trying to place the bet. And I was debating with CEO Nick, like, should I just put more? Like, I feel like this loyal streak has got to come to an end. Like, I've seen them nut up so many times. Like, they're due. They're due for a bad one. On a Tuesday, less home fans, whatever it is.
Right.
I was like, no, all right, I'll just do the 10. But as I was, like, hemming and hawing on that, I didn't know this many people bet on USL games. It went up to plus 300. So I was like, all right, 10, cool.
Well, maybe there's just so few bettors that only one bet needs to happen to sway the line that much.
Maybe me just putting in like my wager before even confirming moved it up. I don't know.
They were already like, yeah.
Literally, as I was doing it, it went from 280 to 290 to 300. I was like, all right, 10's cool. If I get $30 off this, chilling. And if, Loyal win, hey, they win again. So unbeaten
There
in
you
7 games, sole possession
Nice.
of second place.
Yes.
But I do want to point out that I pointed out to Nick and Tyler last night. Well, you can't see it under the logo. Actually, I think I could take that off real quick.
The next to last column.
There you go. Goal
There it is.
differential. Sitting alone in second place with a -2 goal differential. Yes, we know there have been some hard results out there. Maybe some games that just got away, but still. Rarely do you see a team in second place -2 on goals. And then you see the first place Phoenix Rising +13. So clearly the best team out there. But
No, look, I'm telling you that Phoenix can only win in games where they blow you out right off the bat. The Loyal win those. If it's a tough, close game, Phoenix will fall.
they got to fall. And we've seen this. Tyler was there. He witnessed it.
I was there. That's true.
So
They lost a close 2-1 game. with
sit on that goal
800
differential
yellow
all
cards.
you want. But when the chips are down, we know who's really about that action. Come and take it, Phoenix. Yes. Well, all right, cease. Yes, but also I do it to help the team. Like, I think there's one man that would appreciate this.
True.
And
That's true.
whatever my motivation is, he just appreciates, degeneracy. But look, my degeneracy can only serve to help this team. As soon as I started betting for them or against them, boom, they went from next to last place straight to second by themselves. So you're welcome, everyone.
Hey, look, gotta like it. So how was the crowd for a Tuesday game?
The crowd was definitely less. I think the attendance was announced at like 5,000 or something. So not bad.
Not terrible.
And people kind of filed in later. And I'm sure they count, season tickets of people that didn't come. Certainly not as packed out. The one that we went to, being the first game after, full open season and like single game tickets and all that,
That's unfair to use that as a comparison.
definitely the biggest crowd that I've seen, and I'm only going off 3 games, so take that for what you will. But actually, the nice thing was too, CEO Nick and myself were able to go in the next, just right outside of the crazy hardcore supporter section. Yes, Justin, you know.
Yeah, but Ron doesn't have a problem with that because he wins.
Because I win. It's only a problem if you lose, or you can't afford it. I can afford it, and I win. I'm 100% on my Oscar parlays. Take that to the bank. 1-900 Ron. But and Landon was there.
There we go.
Scarf, firing up the fans. One thing I did want to point out. Firing up the section. The only thing I wanted to point out, I'm not going to bash the young man too much, but Ben Spencer is the large, and I mean large, center forward. I mean, this guy looks like, look at the frame. Like, all right, he could be in the Premier League or something until you see him play, and then he doesn't do anything. So I looked this guy up. 6'6", center forward. And I was just getting really frustrated watching this guy. The goal-scoring record speaks for itself. I mean,
ooh, that's rough.
And look, this guy has been on a lot of USA youth teams. I'm not going to bash him. But if you get loaned from a European first division team back to the second division in U.S. twice, it's not great. And I saw all of why last night, because you could do anything. Literally just get in the way of somebody. Like, just be a target on a corner kick, whatever. You're just like, what? Like, they subbed him off, and I was kind of like, dude, that's our best, aerial threat. But after, 2 seconds, I was like, all right, yeah, anyone else is better than this guy. He's just, I don't know. He's got to figure something out, because Phoenix Rising loaned you out. Come on.
like when I remember when you looked it up, like I was jokingly thinking like, oh, like I hope he went and played for some European team, and then he told me he played for Molde, which like not a
Yeah,
household name, but like that is one of the top teams in Norway. Like they're in the Champions League early rounds, probably every couple years because they win the league, every so often.
they're
So
going to be top 2 or 3 in that league every year.
it's like when you told me that, I wasn't like I definitely was not expecting that. But then I see that twice they loaned him out to North American minor league soccer teams, which definitely not the best look. And yeah, for a dude that's 6'6", like it's kind of like what I talk about, like really tall NBA players. Like I'll just use Anthony Davis because he's the example I usually go to. Like if he's just in the paint, he'll get 7 rebounds just from being there. So you would think like this guy's 6'6", playing against minor league soccer players, which I guarantee you the center backs are not 6'4" like they are in Europe. Like
There's a
this
couple
dude should
bigger
be.
guys out there, but as I told
Yeah, but
Tyler,
on
on
average,
the
he's not going to face big guys.
where our seats are, it's the end-to-end view behind one of the goals. This fool stands out amongst everyone, and you put him up there as a forward. All right, maybe I'm sure like having played soccer too, definitely going to draw more attention. Like they're not just going to let this guy, especially like minor leagues, whatever. Like, all right, make sure someone's got a body on him, but he just didn't do anything. Like that was a discouraging thing. Like I get it, you're in the minor leagues, you're minor league talent. I'm not going to hammer this guy too hard, but
Sure.
he just wasn't like even getting initiated to do anything. Like, all right, we know you have size. You got way more size. At least can handle the ball good enough to be a forward. Like they haven't just put you in goal. That's why they put everyone that can't like run around and kick the ball. So just get in there. Just dunk on somebody, dude. Like be a target.
Yeah,
But
like I figure like if you're 6'6", like my thought would just be like, all right, just have the wings run up, whip it into the box, and just like you're 6'6", go up and head it. Like, but apparently no, that's not even a
yes,
possibility.
Cease, to your point, I don't have a honest answer for that. At this point, I feel like maybe it's time to grab the glove, son, and see if you could stop some shots back there because certainly wasn't doing anything for the attack, and it definitely got a lot better when they took him out.
San Diego's got a decent goalie though, so
They do. Chula Vista's finest. So
that's
shout out to
good.
the local boy. And all right, yes, fair point. Look, it bothered me. Okay, look, this guy's a former United States Youth International. I'll let it go, but we just got to do better. Landon, what are you doing with this kid? He's 26. Come on, coach him up, Landon. God, now I'm mad at Landon again.
He's
I redirect
26.
my
Dude,
hate.
he's 26. That means he signed with Molde when he was pretty young.
Yeah, that was his youth team that signed him.
Man, that's crazy.
Anyway, I'm gonna get off him because apparently it's bothering Justin. And let's talk about the real soccer.
Let's do it.
Yesterday, if only for one night, as I told the Baron, Luther Vandross style, it's coming home. It came home. England with a big win, 55 years of hurt, and a long history. I mean, I'm not even going to like the war allegories here, but just soccer specifically, a long history of choking against Germany. And certainly bolstered by playing at Wembley. But, until they actually scored the first goal, which was a very nice goal by Sterling.
It was.
The crowd was not really rocking as much as I thought it was going to be, like with all the crazy English people. But after that, crowd definitely went to like 11. And Kane finally scored the second goal.
Yeah.
And Germany, I mean, always organized. Man, Mueller really could have changed the game. He pulled it. I mean, a crazy breakaway. I thought England was getting a little overconfident, playing a little too high up the field. Yes, you want to put the dagger in. And then I was like, but here comes the England part where they blow it. And of course, immediately like clear-cut breakaway, and Mueller just shanked it. And if that game goes tied 1-1, totally different game, I think. but he missed, and England just kept their foot on the gas. Kane get the second goal, scored for me in fantasy. Thank you.
So you're one of the few people that's still using Kane, even though he did nothing in the.
My team is so bad anyway. Like we're so far out of it. At the end of this, we'll compare points, and you'll see it's bad.
I had a pretty rough round this last round. I think like half the team that I had got eliminated. So yeah, pretty. By the way, change your team. You get I think 3 free transfers. Maybe it's 4. I don't remember.
Well, I only have 2 days of just wandering around aimlessly, waiting for the Euros to come back. So.
But yeah, I noticed the same thing that you did. Kind of like I expected more of the English crowd, but I think that's also probably the typical English dread that was kind of over the crowd until they finally scored.
Always a factor for sure. But then it goes from dread to best team in the world, like immediately. Like this
it goes
is why,
from dread. It goes from dread to it's coming home so quickly.
Yes. So I definitely can see why people do hate the English fans out there across the world. And again, I'm not biased any one particular way. I just see the funny dynamics with the England team and their fans. Like the dread of like, oh God, Germany again. How bad are we going to lose? To, oh, look at Pickford. 4 straight clean sheets. Like best goalie ever in the Euros. Like we got it. Which in his defense, made a great save on Havertz. And I think what's his name, McManaman somebody else. I think it was actually a player in the game in their post game said, and I kind of agree. Like England's number 1, they always have a problem with goalies. Like it's like the most scrutinized thing.
It's given us one of our favorite moments of ever, which was pissed off Beckham after Green let that ball in against the U.S.
Come on, U.S. But and still never lost a Nations League. But no, I do love scouting Beckham. But yeah, the England goalie, even like talent aside, like the weight that comes with that because of their very checkered past with goalies is it's a weird situation to be in that spot. So shout out to him. And also really just the defense of England. I think they've been super organized. There was like the Scotland game. I'm like, what are they doing? Like they should be able to beat this team. They should go after them, press them, whatever. But they have held it down defensively.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of kind of like hesitation. I feel with England, like they haven't overly impressed me. Like defensively, they've been solid, no doubt. I haven't been overly impressed with the attack. Like I feel like it should be more. Granted, it was a completely different game when Grealish came on. Like that's when their attack really went into full gear once Grealish came onto the field.
And I was going to ask you about that too, because I know like every time he gets up and even like starts running around, warming up, all the England fans go crazy, whatever. But I feel like the way that they have played so far, to me, I'd kind of just keep him coming off the bench. Like he's just like the shot of just like this guy's just going to run. Like, bring him in late, fresh legs, just run people to death. Yes, unfortunately, we know about the diving. But, like, he will make things happen, especially if you're bringing him into a team that's just kind of, like, going through the motions, like, not really figuring out how to get at the goal. And then you bring this guy on one of the wings, he's just causing problems.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think I can definitely understand both sides of the argument. Like, I think he's a better, they've been playing Foden at the left wing, which he's not a natural left winger. And that is what Grealish is. So, like, I feel like just from a pure, like, your 11 best players in the right position, you want him there starting and being there the whole game. But there is also the argument, like you just said, of like, yeah, bring him on in like the 60th, 70th minute where, the other team's defense is like pretty tired. And now this just explosive offensive player is coming on. So like I see both arguments
that they've had. I feel like, I don't know, maybe if he starts, maybe they don't have the slow start, but it seemed to have worked so far. I would just go with what you know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, look, if it's working, it's working. Like I can't knock that. Southgate's getting he's getting shit in some ways, but he's getting praise in others. So like if it's working, it's working. But I thought I will say this, like I wasn't as impressed with England as I was disappointed with Germany. Like I kind of expected a better effort from them. Like you mentioned the Thomas Mueller missed goal. Timo Werner missed another one kind of earlier that like probably should have been buried. And Werner hasn't really. That's kind of been his thing since he signed with Chelsea. Is like missing goals that he should be
Not
making.
scoring. Yeah.
Yeah. So like kind of disappointed. Like I know we've talked about Germany's definitely in a transitional period. Kind of
I
switching up
thought
some players.
for sure at the beginning, Goretzka was the best player on the field, and he was making
Mhm.
everything happen. And I thought they would score in that first 20 minutes because of him. Like if he's not scoring, he would have set up a goal because he was like,
Mhm.
and he is really a great player. I know, like if you don't watch, the German league at all, trust me, this guy is like for real. But
Oh, for sure.
he was like overwhelming the middle of the English midfield and defense, just like picking the ball up, just running through fools like Pogba style. And I was like, this is going to be the England. Like, here it comes. Here comes the collapse. But they held the line. That defense has been, bend but don't break. And shoot, I mean, defensively, they got one of the best records in the whole tournament.
Yeah, they haven't conceded a goal yet.
The other thing I wanted to point out to Jaime's comment here is I did think that was kind of, I don't know, it just kind of felt like that was a thing hanging over the German team, though. Like,
Definitely.
Lowe being a lame duck, like, all right, he already announced it's going to be my last tournament. So, like, the whole program, the players know, like, this is it. Like, all right, there could be some factor of, like, let's win one more for this guy. But also, it's kind of like, when you put it out there so far in advance, it's just kind of like, we just have to, like, start the rebuild. Like, it's a weird vibe in the camp and everything.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, I definitely do think it did have some effect. And again, announcing it so early might have been more of a negative effect. Like you just said, like maybe if you just kind of announced it closer to the tournament, just kind of like a surprise, then everybody can get behind it, as opposed to like, well, if we already know he's leaving, like, I don't know, maybe we should like get moving forward with the next regime. Like, what? I don't know.
And then, I mean, he had so much success with the World Cup and everything, like so many good teams. Definitely a lot of younger guys coming in there now. So it just, the whole thing, combination of like, we know the coach is leaving. We got all these new guys. Like, you're always going to get so much out of Germany just on a baseline. But I thought it just put them in a weird, like, vibe.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, they definitely didn't. They still had the technical quality of a German team, but just there was something different about this team that we're compared to what we're used to seeing from them. But the next game was definitely a bit more closer game. Definitely more of a just turned into a bloodbath. Just like I think I had texted you when they went into extra time, kind of like they should just go straight to penalties because like both these teams are just dropping players like crazy.
And it wasn't even like hit jobs. It was like just dudes getting hurt. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the straight red card for Sweden, it's
Pretty
tough for a straight
rough.
red, but it was definitely a foul. I mean, the guy came in pretty wild. He did get the ball, but it was like all studs up, just like legs up in the air, just like, bah!
The
And
Ty
like
Cobb
almost,
special.
yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, the guy, not saying like a foul should be determined on what happens to the other person. It's just the way that you play it as the player. But he got him like way up on the leg, kind of bent his knee backwards. I mean, it was an ugly looking foul. So he gets sent off. And Ukraine, up until that point, I thought they were playing for penalties. I mean, I thought they were just like, cool, like, let's just ride it out, get to penalties, see what happens. And even after that, when it was Sweden with 10 guys and Ukraine with 11, like, they were still kind of like,
that urgency wasn't there.
Yeah, it took them like a good 5 or 10 minutes to really like, all right, let's just try to get the goal and like knock this out. But they did get a nice goal to win in extra time. And shout out to Yarmo. Again, Yarmo, the most fascinating player out there. Sets up the first goal with an outside of the left foot cross.
That was ridiculous.
Imagine if he had 2 feet. I was saying this yesterday. better than Messi, better than Ronaldo. Like, this guy made it to the Premier League, his national team, with 1 foot. 1 foot. You only, like, everyone knows it's going to be something off the left foot.
It's coming off the left, yeah, for sure.
Even if he's passing backwards, left foot, every time.
Even if he's passing to the left, it's coming off the left foot.
Yeah, he crossed it across the box from the right wing. Wow, set up the goal. Like, you know it's coming, but yet he still pulls it off. Savage.
But I will say it was a pretty tough break for Sweden because I think I swear Forsberg had like 8 shots go off the post.
Forsberg,
they were all incredible shots, and they were all just off the post.
I don't remember his name, the guy that was calling the game for ESPN, but
was it John Champion?
No, it wasn't an English guy. It's an American guy. I can't remember his name right now. And
Twillman?
No,
Taylor
like
Twillman?
he was on the play-by-play.
Play-by-play. Okay. I don't know who it was.
So, and he made a great point, though, because Forsberg did score the first goal, and it was a nice goal. But then hit the post twice, like, in spectacular fashion. He was like, he's really, like, a combined 14 inches away from a hat trick right now. And yet it's tied 1-1. So Forsberg was playing his balls off. I don't know. I don't know if Ibra out there makes a difference. But hard to say that, really, because Sweden played so good in this tournament without him. But, going down a guy puts you in a spot. I mean, then you just kind of hope you get to penalties, and Ukraine started finally sort of ramping up the pressure, trying to actually get that goal, which they got. But to Jaime's point here in the comments, that does seem just kind of like would be the trap game of any trap game playing against Ukraine. But if they do survive that, semifinals and finals, both back at Wembley. So if they do get past that, maybe, they found their kind of swag as far as like actually attacking the goal. Kind of a favorable draw, definitely, for England.
Yeah, I mean, you can see here, this will be literally their only game not in Wembley throughout the whole tournament. They're going to be playing in Rome. And it definitely is a trap game. I mean, you can see the English press, the English fans, that like their whole thing has been like, if this team beats Germany,
it's coming home.
It's an easy path to the finals, which on paper, I completely agree. It is compared to the top side of the bracket, at least how it looked before some upsets happened. But that just is a perfect trap game. I mean, one thing I wanted to give a shout out to Ukraine is they scored 2 goals and neither one was Yarmolenko or Yaremchuk, which that's been their only 2 goal scorers the whole tournament. So, they're starting to get more effort from more players. So it's absolutely a trap game.
By the end, both of them were off the field, subbed off. So they got that winning goal with neither of them even on the field.
By the way, just a quick update. Phoenix is about to close it out. I see Chris Paul finished with 41 points, 31 of which in the second half.
All right. Well, if he wants it that bad, I mean, sometimes it can't be denied.
So shout out Phoenix. You're back in the finals. And shout out to you, Ronnie. You don't have to worry about the Clippers winning a title.
Oh, Twitter. Come on, Twitter.
Dude. Yeah. We gotta be on that game tonight. That Twitter game tonight to have some stuff Friday. That'll be good.
As soon as we go off the air, I'm going to be refreshing my Twitter feed, just searching Clippers the entire time. But although this year, a little bit hard done by injuries, but still, NBA Twitter hates the Clippers just like everyone else.
True words. But so here we got starting up on Friday, so we'll have another 24 hours without Euros.
Yeah.
The Friday we'll get 2 games here with the quarterfinals. So Belgium, Italy. I think that's just on paper that's the banger matchup of this round. Italy, who doesn't allow goals, even though they did allow a goal, and in the pool stage they showed a lot of offense. They didn't really show it in their last match, but they still were able to pull through. Belgium, again, this is like this. If they're gonna do it, this is the year to do it because they're kind of reaching the end of their golden age. But this is just like a game where even if you're kind of a casual fan, there's like a lot of names that you will kind of recognize being called out on the field.
I mean, just looking at all these games, like you would think, as we were saying, all signs point to England in the final in London. Like it all sets up. But of course, the English collapse is always just right around the corner. Like you never know. It could be Ukraine, could be Czech
Signature
Republic or
English
Denmark.
spread.
But this tournament's just been so good that even like Switzerland, Spain. I mean, you see Spain kind of like rounding into shape right now, really looking better than they have looked this entire tournament. Switzerland also taking out what everyone regarded as the best team with just like guts and glory.
With one of the best games you could have seen. Like that game was absolutely outstanding.
So they're riding high. Ukraine again in the England game. Just another reason to maybe look at this as a trap game. Literally nothing to lose. Like they have no reason to be here. They just have kept on winning. Nobody had them going this far. Nobody had them. They almost didn't even get out of the group. So, I mean, just play free and fast and see what happens. Catch England on a slow start.
Yeah, and then that last game on there, look, Czech Republic, like
Czech Ham.
Watches knows. Yeah, everybody watches knows we're fans of it because they've got the West Ham connection with Soucek and Sufal and probably 3 other guys that will be on West Ham's future roster. And then Denmark, again, the team that every neutral is getting behind.
Yeah, if your team is knocked out or you are a fan of a different country that's not in this tournament, you're probably rooting for Denmark. It's, can't really dispute that. So that I think is also going to be a great game and story. Do we have the I didn't have the thing here. Oh, wait. No, so we do have the just looking at the actual breakdowns for Friday. So we start off with Switzerland, Spain, and Belgium, Italy. I mean, it's so weird too. I know they're doing it for TV, but if it comes on at noon here, like those are the games that don't end until like 1 a.m. if it goes to extra time.
Yeah, that's
local time.
I think that's Munich, Germany, so that's 8 or 9 hours ahead of us. Probably 8, I think, would be an 8 o'clock kickoff for them. So, yeah, if that goes into extra time, you're looking at people leaving that stadium midnight or later.
Just pouring out of the streets. Let's tear it up. And then again, just like the closer zoom-in view, Czech Republic and Denmark is the early game on Saturday, and then, of course, Ukraine, England, the nightcap there. So, God, I can't wait till the Euros come back. Come on, Friday, please.
Yeah, going to be a long morning and afternoon tomorrow, that's for sure.
Just waiting. Yes,
Also,
that Czech ham life.
Also, we do got to get the quick Jaime the Greek at Italy over Belgium. Let's see, Spain over Switzerland. England over Ukraine. Jaime believes it's coming home. And Czech over Denmark. So there you go. But please remember, all those predictions are for entertainment purposes only.
Well, obviously, yes. I'm not going to be legally held liable, but and all very solid picks. Entertainment purposes only.
Agree.
But if this tournament has shown us anything, I feel like there's going to be at least one surprise in there, and maybe more.
Jaime shutting down what I just said.
No, wait, I didn't say that. I didn't say it's coming home.
That's true. He did not say it's coming home. That is true. Although it will be coming home because the semifinals and finals are in London. So it will be coming home.
The trophy will be present at the final. Just if England is participating, we don't know.
That actually almost makes it better if England loses this next round, and then their fans are just going to be there for the semifinals and finals.
Oh man, imagine if it does come home too. It's going to be ridiculous. But whatever happens, I cannot wait. Please, Friday can't come soon enough. I mean, that's pretty much all we had for the show. As you said, Light Wednesday Kings. But I thought it was a good show. Plenty to talk about. Thank you all for your comments. Sorry to the CEO, Nick, that we could not get you on the program for the Loyal Report. But, I mean, we'll get back with you guys on Friday in some way, form, or fashion.
That's right. We'll have a show leading you into the 4th of July weekend. Big fun weekend. 3-day for some people. We'll see. But, thank you all so much for tuning in. all the comments, all the questions, all the whatever. We love it. We will be back here on Friday. You guys know the drill. Keep the fire.